Technology. Okay, welcome back, everybody. If this is your first Sunday Market Outlook, welcome. If it's not your first, welcome back. I'm your host, Roy Dunya, co-founder of Chart Addicts. I'm a full-time day trader and arguably one of the best NAS100 specialists out there. Not self-proclaimed. People have told me this. What we're going to do on the Sunday Market Outlook is prepare for the week. Again, without preparation, you're playing it by ear. You're just taking opportunities as they come during the week. And emotionality plays in. So you're going to be busy at work, busy with family, and then the emotionality of trying to find trades during the week, it leads to a lot of the trading errors. So hopefully by preparing ahead of time, we have a playbook, we can build multiple scenarios, and when they show up on the charts this week, we're able to take advantage. Why? Because we've seen it before. Okay, so I'm going to check for any news events this week. Last week was the heavy news week. We had NFP and we had the Fed news. So hopefully this is going to be a bit calmer. I don't even know if calmer is the word, a bit more calm. Okay, so let's take a look at this. And I'm going to filter out a lot of the pairs that I don't watch and clean things up. Okay, FOMC member Waller is speaking at using economic data to understand the economy. Well, actually, that sounds pretty interesting. This is something that I'll definitely try and stream. 10 a.m. on Tuesday, yeah, I'll be streaming. Fed Powell speaking on Wednesday. The Division of Research and Stats Centennial Conference in DC. Okay, not too bad. Weekly employment claims. Fed Powell speaks again where the monetary challenges in a global economy at the Jack Pollock Annual Research Conference. A lot of research conferences and data conferences at a time where people aren't trusting the data coming out of the Fed. And so a little bit of clarity about how they're using data to make these decisions, the CPI number being fugazi and really just not being accurate. Maybe they can address some of those concerns that the public has and ideally give economists some clarity about how to make projections. Because making projections has become harder and harder, especially when they keep changing the definitions. And then we have preliminary consumer sentiment. So pretty slow week. Maybe they say, maybe we have the Fed. I don't know. I don't even see these being a big mover. So overall, I think geopolitics is going to be the big topic regarding, well, especially regarding market movement. I think that we're going to be looking at the Israel and Palestine conflict. We're going to be looking at any escalations in the Ukraine and Russia conflict, because there have been some developments that we can talk about later on the stream. So yeah, I'm getting ready for the NAS100 Masterclass. It starts at 7 p.m. I look forward to seeing everybody on there who has registered. And if you're registered and you're watching this on YouTube, just drop something in the chat and let us know. Salute from North Carolina. Okay, good stuff. All right, let's jump onto the charts and let's see what we got. NAS100. You guys know the pattern. I don't have to explain this to the Chart Addicts members, but to some of you guys, this is bullish. So we've already had an area of support get established. We had buyers show their bullish intent. Hold on, man. There's somebody screaming outside. I just want to make sure they're not getting murdered, just for my own conscience. You feel me? You guys ever hear somebody scream and you're like, they sound like they're playing around, but it also sounds like someone's getting murdered? And you're like, I at least got to check in case it's somebody getting murdered. You guys never had, it's just me? Give me a second. All right. Well, that was sketch. All right. We're back. So let's jump to it. We had the bullish intent push up, and then we had sellers try to take the market down. Buyers were able to hold this zone. So again, we have our discount down here, we have our premium up here, and then we had our range. So buys back inside the range, pretty straightforward. And now we have a break above the range. So this is all headed towards the bullish direction. The last thing that I want to see is a retest of that range. I want to see it retest inside and then a continuation up. So let's take a look at this chart on the daily. In my video. Okay. So on the daily, we had these higher lows forming, higher lows, and then we started to have a change in market structure. So we started having lower lows and lower highs, lower lows and lower highs, and then lower low. Now, what I'm recently noticing is how aggressive this push up was, and it's starting to look like buyers have taken back control of the market. We have this area of support that got violated, and then there was a massive recovery. And then since then, we've just been breaking areas of local structure. So we've already broken this zone here, and we're about to head up to this next level. As we start to break these highs, we can now confirm that shift in market direction. So if the market's bullish, what it's going to do is break through these highs and then come back into retest and continue. So this is how we're going to know this week which way the market intends to go for the next month. Are we going to break above these previous highs here at 15,300, or are we going to have trouble breaking and we're going to get that push back down? Now, the reason I'm shorting, and actually the trade looks a little bit more like this. It's like a 1.8 to 1 R&R. We have this previous area of consolidation. This is what we were just looking at on the other chart. We have this previous area of consolidation. I'm looking for a retest of that zone, and that lines up perfectly with the 61.8 Fibonacci on this chart. So we have this previous area of structure. The market's going to come back down to retrace. I'm looking for a sell up here in this 15,150 to 15,190 area. And most of my best entries are going to be above that zone. They're going to be above the 88.6 zone, closer to 190 to 200. So 15,150 to 15,200, that entire area is going to be a selling zone. And like I always say, if there's a range here, you want to try to sell as close to the top of that range as possible. Okay. So once we get that move down, then we'll just assess how the market reacts to that zone. If the market continues to create a higher floor, then the most likely move is that we're going to start to push back bullish. If the market starts to create lower lows and lower highs here, then we're just going to retest and push to the bottom of this range. So for now, I'm looking for the shorts. And keep in mind, this is on the higher time frames. If we look at this on the daily, in order for the market to fake above and then have one more push up and drop, this is going to be 1 to 2 daily candles, meaning that this is going to be a Tuesday or Wednesday move. Don't be so overzealous to start shorting the market because we're back at these highs that you start to burn up your ammo early in the week. Instead, give it a second, make sure that you are make sure that market structure is established, and then you can hop back in. Juan Rodriguez says, registered. Juan, I'll see you in half an hour, bro. So my man's on the Sunday Outlook, and he's about to get on the NAS bootcamp. Guys, put a 1 in the chat if this makes sense. NAS, we good. Sells at the 88.6. We'll see if we form a higher floor here. If we don't form a higher floor and we keep dropping, that's why we leave a runner. I will have running positions in case this thing drops to TP2, and then, God forbid, we hit TP3. We hit TP3, I think we're in trouble here. Okay, Chart Addicts members, the Zoom chat, everybody says good. Linda, I'll see you in about half an hour. Max, Nick, Casey, Josh, Bobby, Noah, good to see all of y'all. Awesome stuff. And Sam. Sam, I didn't even forget about you, Sam. Come on. All right. One last thing on NASDAQ. Since nobody threw out any pairs that you guys want me to cover, I'm just going to do NAS and then call it a day because really that's what I'm looking at. All right. So New York session's over. We have a new week and a new overlap that's forming right now. So I'm looking for this consolidation overlap. I'm looking for the fake down tomorrow. I'm looking for this push up. And then it's going to, like, a lot of people are going to try to short tomorrow on Monday. but I think that we're going to have another reset here and then do it again. And so whether it's one fake or two fakes, we're going to catch it and we'll just enter at the top of the zone. Oh, dope stuff. Guys, does this make sense? It's really easy. It's like the same thing over and over again. We have the higher time frame zones. Now we can use the lower time frame strategy and our understanding of session times to be able to, I don't want to say time the market, but have an estimate of when we expect it to move. I expect it to move during New York, which is not now. We're going to have the consolidation. It might fake up, it might fake down. And then during New York, we're going to have a great sell opportunity, or we're going to have a great buying opportunity. The best buying opportunity for now would be, I think, right here. So I can draw my fib. This is the same trade idea that I had last week on the stream, where I was waiting for a pullback to the 88.6 and continuation up. So there's so many trades here. There's so many ways to make money. I'm going to short above the 886. I'm going to buy this thing at 14,900. I'm going to buy this thing at the higher time frame zones. It's going to be a great week. I'll tell you guys that much. Just those two trade ideas of selling at 15,200 and buying at 14,900, that might just be all the trades I take this week. Take a sell here, and then take a buy right here. Yeah, I love this game. Okay. Let's hope we don't hit TP3. That's recession territory. Castro, good to see you on here, bro. What about US30? We'll do US30 real quick and then call it a day. Maybe I'll give you guys some updates on geopolitics, but might save that for tomorrow, for tomorrow's stream. All right, so US30 is very straightforward. Let's talk about when does a trend shift and what are the key identifying features of a trend change. So when you have structure going lower lows and then all of a sudden it starts going flat, this is the first sign that you've kind of broken the cycle. It was doing lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. And then all of a sudden, you have this high right here get broken. So now you don't have lower highs anymore. Now you have a higher high. And then you come down. Do you have a lower low? Not really. Okay. You have one more liquidity grab because there's probably a ton of buy orders that were sitting right here for the double bottom. Liquidity grab through. And then, of course, my favorite entry is always that retest, inverted head and shoulders. Shout out to Bryce. He called this out last week, I believe, on a stream, maybe 2 weeks ago. So now we started to have a shift in market momentum. We first had the higher high. Things were slowing down. We had the liquidity grab through and then a break above. This area right here, this area of local resistance got violated, showing that buyers, it really just shows that buyers are in control when the market is able to close above a previous high. It shows that there are market participants bidding the market at a higher price than what was recently deemed too high. This was deemed expensive, and people are buying it higher than this zone now, meaning they expect it to continue to the upside. And so the same thing is happening. We now have a break above this high, showing that buyers are in control, and we're still in that bullish momentum. So the next thing that you expect after you have a break of structure is typically a retracement. And I don't really mean a retracement this deep. Typically, it doesn't go that deep. There's two ways that the break of structure looks. I'm going to break both of these down. The first is this one, where you have the break of structure, and then you have a deep retracement before it continues. And the second one is like right here, where you have this previous high, the market breaks above, and there's no deep retracement. It's just a strict continuation to the upside. So depending on how aggressive it is. So that could happen here. We either have a light tap and bounce, or we get this full retracement. Maybe not that deep. Maybe closer to 33,700. Okay, this would be my ideal zone. You have a lot of buying interest right here. I'd love to see 33, actually maybe closer to 33,600, that retracement. So those are the two modes. Those are the two models. We either have the deep retracement or we have this little kind of BS momentum type retracement. Make sense? Cool. We all together? Gonzalez, William, how you guys doing? How you doing? Is it Gonzalez? Is Gonzalez your first name, bro? Because I'm having a hard time thinking that's your first name. That's usually a last name. All right, we'll talk about gold tomorrow. I see a massive retracement coming. What's the dollar doing? Dollar still pulling back. Dollar still pulling back. So this is actually very necessary. We've needed a retracement on the dollar. I think 103.7 would be perfect. It could even tap 104, like this previous high here. We can tap the previous high and launch, but more than likely we're going to break through a bit, come back to the 103.7 area, and then continue. Why does this matter? If you're looking to buy UJ, for example, it's going to be pretty soon. All right, I'd be looking to start going long on UJ here pretty soon. Once this thing makes one more touch down, it could either be this little shallow touch or a deep touch. Once this thing is done pulling back, we're going to have bullish momentum back on the DXY, which means you can sell EU and GU, and you can start buying UJ and UCAD again. So personally, the two markets that I trade outside of NAS100 are Euro USD and USD JPY. I'm buying UJ forever, and I'm selling Euro USD forever. That's just the way it goes. Forever with breaks, because right now I'm not selling EU because we're in this massive retracement. Once the dollar is back bullish, then I'm going to be ready to start shorting Euro USD again. Make sense? Two. Yeah, Euro USD got a long way to go. Like we did have a break of this structure, and so right now we're in this pullback. I think we're going to hit about, I'm not even going to say where we're going to hit. It just all depends on the DXY. But for now, Euro USD is bullish. You are likely to see a pullback of 1.067. This area, 1.067, and then a continuation. Okay, maybe a little bit deeper, like 1.065. This 20-point range here. Pullback and continuation. Okay. If there's no questions, comments, concerns, we good, very clean, beautiful. All right, happy and safe trading. Let me give you guys some reminders because I do have to hop off, get ready for this NAS100 master class, which starts in about an hour. If you missed the registration for today's class, it's going to be 3 days long. If you missed registrations for this bootcamp, make sure that you guys put yourself on the wait list using the link in the description to get on the December 8th class. It's going to be in a month, like 40 days or something. That's going to be the next one. If you're looking to change your life, this is going to be the class for you. One last thing, reminders for trading. Trading is a very simple game. Yes, we're getting paid to press buttons. Yes, we're getting paid to guess a direction up and down. Do not get confused that the risk management piece of this, like all the boring stuff that nobody ever talks about, the risk management, the mindset, the journaling, that's the stuff that's going to make or break your success. If you have not already reached success, it's important for you to start tracking your progress so you know where you're making mistakes. A lot of people will spend 2-3 years losing, not realizing that at any given moment they could have stopped. They could have really, really focused and written down everything they were doing, journaled their trades, journaled the negative things that were holding them back, and identified those weak points very early in the journey. A lot of people will not do that exercise, and so I'm going to urge you, I'm going to leave the challenge up to you if you're going to be that trader. Will you be the gambler that's just hoping that things are going to work out, or do you see yourself being the exception to the rule? Or are you going to take this serious enough to do what's necessary to see the progress? Whether it is backtesting a strategy or getting on a course and actually learning how to trade markets. A lot of the time, education is that barrier. Is it coaching? Is it having one-on-one interactions with myself or someone on my team? Is it going through and looking at your past 25 trades and seeing whether holding or closing would have been more beneficial? Is it identifying the long and short side, which one is making you more money? Which session is the most profitable? Which pair is drawing down your account? If you don't know these things, you might want to trade US30 or gold, but that pair is crushing your profits on all the other pairs. We got to identify what is working for you. And I mean, I'll say we got to identify, this is my coach speak, but really it's your imperative to identify these things in your own systems and in your own results so you can make progress. You can't improve what you don't measure. And if you're not measuring simple things like how long are you staying in drawdown, on average, how many pips are you in drawdown before the market goes your way? What's your average risk on a trade? Not what you intended, but what you actually lost. Did you enter more orders than you meant to? Did you close the trade early? And so looking at these metrics, honestly, is going to help you make the improvements this week, not next week, not next year, but today. You get me? All right. With that being said, have a plan and follow it. If you don't have a plan, talk to one of our coaches. We'll help you build one that's rock solid, but follow your plan, trade the plan, and happy and safe trading, ladies and gentlemen. I'll catch you guys on tomorrow morning stream. Take it easy.